Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Nerds of the Apocalypse. I'm, of course, Stevie B, and alongside me today... Oh, look in the mic. Or no, look into the camera. Okay, I'm, of course, Stevie B. I'm like watching the game go by. I am, of course, Stevie B. Alongside me today is...
Showtime.
Beth
and Trex.
Alright, here we are. Okay, so we got some stuff to talk about. We're going to do our news, our updates on our NotA lives, and then we're going to talk about things that make us cry. That's right, things that make us cry.
Oh, that's today's episode.
Because it's close to Valentine's Day.
Yeah, we get
oh, there's a sadness.
Yeah, didn't you... Was that your phone that just went off there?
That was not my phone.
Pretty sure that was yours.
Didn't you just give the announcement for everyone to turn off their phones?
That was your phone.
Yeah.
Oh no, it was my iPad. Sorry, guys. My bad. Yeah, because my phone's on silent, but the iPad's right there. Okay, I apologize. That was me. Okay, so we'll get right into it. It's my iPad. I'm so sorry, everybody. Heather, stop sending messages.
Heather's doing it on purpose.
I know she is. Okay, now that we got that out of the way. Showtime, I actually have an update together. We actually both beat Dragon Age.
The same day, actually.
The same day, yeah. He beat it, then came over here and watched me beat it. And by watch me beat it, I mean he slept on the couch while I beat it. So
he's a tired dude.
He is. He's a good busy man. Okay, so we have two different opinions about it, but I think your opinion is skewed a little bit.
Mine's very definitely been influenced by all of the glitches. Like, my voice wasn't the same as when I started. It switched around my Dragon Age Keep people thing, so, like, my hero for Elden is definitely a dude, but I always talk about it as a chick. Let's see. I made decisions that would get rid of glitches, or I thought would, like, you know, when you choose about the Grey Wardens, I chose to get rid of them because their characters always glitched when I was up to that point. So I was like, finally, great. But then it started to be everybody. That Val Royale mission where you have to like do all the political crap, which is probably the worst mission they have in that whole game, was also very glitchy with conversation. So I didn't even know what was going on. I just chose stuff.
Let's talk about that real quick because I probably did that mission for about, I think I did it differently 4 times. I was on the internet figuring out all the different endings you can get. It's essentially barely any action, and you're at a royal party, and it's almost like a whodunit thing. Like, someone's out to kill somebody. Yeah. And you have to figure it out. And you really...
You need the information, which I did not get because it kept glitching.
And you're just kind of walking around the party talking to people going back and forth, and there's some fighting mixed in, but most of it's you mingling with like snobby rich people. The biggest, the coolest thing I thought about that was when you go into the party, they announce you. Like they're like, and the Inquisitor, and then they announce your companions. And like I had an elf with me, and in the Dragon Age world, elves are like looked down upon. They used to be like the best, then something happened over the years, and now they're just like slaves and stuff. And so it was like, you're slave, solo. And I was like, my slave's with me. I can't believe they called him that. Because they just assumed he was because he was an elf.
Would you have been happy if they called him a slave or a eunuch?
I would have just been like, hey, it's his friend the elf. Yeah.
Keep it PC.
Yeah, just come on, man. Like, and I watched the video because there's another elf who's a girl, and she's like all over the place, and she's really weird. She's a bit annoying when you first get her, but she gets a little easier to deal with as the game goes on. But I forget what she's when she gets announced, she wrote her name down as like Sir Poopy Panties or something like that. I don't know. It was weird. So like she's like, haha, they actually said it. Did you hear that? And it was just, that's not what they said, but it was something along those lines. But it was funny. But yeah, it does get annoying because you have to do so much stuff, and there's some stuff that's timed. Like for instance, you want it in the ballroom, and it's all about you trying to get influence everybody at the party, and you want it in the ballroom. If you hear the chimes and you go into the ballroom, you get like 20 like influence points. But if you wait till the second chime, you get like 100 because everybody's like, oh, he's fashionably late. Look at the Inquisitor. But if you wait till the third one, you get negative points because you took too long to come in there. I read about that too, and I was like, that whole thing's ridiculous. But that mission was definitely a love it or hate it. I did it 4 times, so I absolutely despised it because I was trying to get the best outcome. And spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't gotten that far yet, there is no right answer. Everybody's done something wrong. So to get the best thing, you have to get the dirt on everyone. And then when you get the dirt on everyone, you're like, okay, well, you did this, and you do this. Now, you're all working for the Inquisition. Sweet. And they're like, oh, okay. And that's how I handled it. But
nobody expected that.
Yeah, nobody expects it. That's right. Very good.
But yeah, so I get all the way to the end of the game, and I don't know what's even going on. I stopped playing because I didn't know what was going on with the story. All my love scenes were messed up, so
that's the worst.
Yeah, like, I don't know. It didn't even like freeze on like at least a good part. It was just like her face, and all of a sudden going. That's all most of my conversations happen with. So I beat the game, and I was like, sweet. I'm sure all of this stuff that's breaking and people are crying over would probably mean something to me if I actually had the conversations.
Yeah, I didn't see very many glitches. The glitch that I ran into was the spoiler alert. Again, if you haven't played it, it's 4 months old, so we could talk about it. Is the Hawk. When you get Hawk, you have to change your... And you were just like, whatever, I'll deal with the default. But I waited, and I said, I can't have my Hawk look anything other than the way I designed him, because I'm just that kind of person. Like, it has to be perfect. So while Steven was continuing the game and playing the story missions and stuff, I stopped and did nothing but side missions and waited the, month it took them to fix the game. And then they fixed it, and I went and played it, so they had fixed everything Steven ran into, or Showtime ran into, so I didn't have a problem.
Yeah.
But I would definitely have lost it if during the love scene where they show boobies and I didn't get to see them, I would have been irate. I would have been like, this is the worst game ever.
They were glitchy. So it was like,
who wants glitchy boobies?
Exactly.
Who wants that?
So it was really annoying, and it gets back to the long conversation we had a long time ago. It's like, why would you release a game that isn't fixed? Like, you have to at least test it, right? If you're gonna play it, and you see all these glitches, and you're like, yeah, it's good enough. Yeah, well, I didn't play that one. I stopped after the second one.
Well, Unity.
I've heard about all the glitches and saw them all on the internet.
You can't compare.
Have no face.
You can't compare Unity's glitches to Inquisition's glitches. Like, Unity was just unplayable. At least Dragon Age was playable. It was bad. But I totally see your point. But the final fight, I won't spoil it because some people are waiting to do stuff like that. But it was what I expected, but it just... Like, there's dragons in the game, right? And there's clearly...
There better be.
Yeah, so there's 10 dragons you can fight. And there's clearly, the high dragon, the, best dragon in the game. You beat him, you get the coolest stuff. I fought that dragon, and it was a hard fight. I fought a dragon for 15 minutes. And I go and so now I'm souped up and leveled up, and I go and fight the final boss, and it's just and then he's dead. And I'm just like, okay, is this what's happening?
I didn't even fight all the dragons, and I killed him easily.
Yeah, it took 10 minutes, and I was just like, okay. But I mean, it's what I guess it should have been. It's what I was expecting, I guess. I don't know, maybe I just wanted it to be harder. But then if it was harder, I would complain about it being harder. So I'm one of those internet people right now, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I liked it as a whole. I could totally understand where you come from with the glitches. Especially glitches like that ruin story and ruin the things you're supposed to do.
You know me, I play a game for story. It needs to have a good, interesting story. But I was scared to do any of the side missions with any of the other people because I wouldn't know what it is. So I was like, screw it, no point in doing any of those. So the only one I did was Cassandra, so I could have the love interest in the game, and it got screwed up anyway. So
I was surprised that for Mass Effect on the 360. Where we got heavy breathing and weird camera angles, to now we're in Dragon Age Inquisition and we're seeing boobies. They're just out, and I just want to say this. I know we're talking about boobies, but one thing I noticed when they showed them, I was like, these are not equivalent to her character model in the rest of the game. These are clearly souped up for these cutscenes, without a doubt. I was like, this does not fit the way I normally see you. So either you're taping them down, or the developers were like, beep.
They power girl her.
She
has no window no more.
Yeah, did you know that they took away Power Girl's window?
They did?
Well, what happens is, spoiler alert if you're not reading.
I just read it.
World's End, or Earth 2 World's End is the weekly DC book out right now. You know, everybody knows Power Girl. She's got the white outfit and her booby crack is just boom.
Booby window.
Yeah, and well, they found like Superman in Earth 2 was killed. He wasn't really killed. They captured him and they like had him pinned up and they
tortured him, took his genetics,
and they were making a bunch of Superman clones. And well, they ripped the S off his shirt and like hung it up as like a trophy. And so they found the S and they put it on her boob window. So now Power Girl has an S where the boob window used to be.
Yeah, it was like your father wanted you to have this, and I'm like, yeah. Oh,
I thought something was missing.
It was supposed to be there the entire time.
That's what should have been there. So, anyway, I was going to talk about that too for my nerdy week. Was the Earth 2 stuff is so good right now in comics.
I will have to say I am perfectly okay with Alan Scott. My issues with him, with how they turned his character gay for Earth 2, I've alleviated it. I don't even care.
I mean, it's...
Because honestly, it's not the Alan Scott I grew up with, because he's not a Green Lantern. He's just the protector of Earth. He's pretty much Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
But just with, like, green aura.
It's weird, because, like, their lanterns in Earth 2 are, like, different parts of the planet. Like, he's... What is he, Earth, right? He's, like...
Green. Yeah, he has the power of green.
Yeah, he's Earth. And
he's not even really a They call him Green Lantern, but it's like he's the only one. There's no other core members.
And then, Grundy is like death.
The avatar of death and decay.
And then his dead boyfriend, his fiance from the train in the first issue of Earth 2. Spoilers if you haven't read the 3-year-old Earth 2 book. He's like the avatar of life, but when they meet, he's like, I'm no longer that person, Alan Scott. He's like, no, you're...
Yeah, you look just like him. Yeah. No, you're him. You're him.
And
no, I'm not.
And then he played him, too, because he's fighting his own fight. They're fighting, and he's about to lose. And he's like, I'm no longer that person. I'm no longer that person. And then he's like, help me. He's like, I'm fighting. Help me. Alan. And he's like, I'm coming. It's like, wait, you said that just to play me. But,
yeah, did you, I know we're getting into this, but you've read all the way up to the current issue, right?
I have not. I'm like 2 issues behind.
Did you see who the avatar of Red was?
No.
Okay, so you don't know who she is. You haven't even seen her name yet?
No.
Okay.
You go ahead and tell me. Go ahead. Spoilers.
Because I was like trying to figure out who the avatar of Red was.
Please.
And it's Yolanda Menendez or something.
Did you work at a Burger King?
Wow!
That is a Mad TV reference.
Complicated all there. Oh.
But she's Wildcat from Earth 2.
Okay.
Because I had to look it up. It's like, who is this person? And I found out she was Wildcat. She's the female Wildcat.
Okay, sweet.
It might have been McDonald's if everyone was mad about the Mad TV reference. Some burger joint.
He wasn't making a racist comment. Okay. So they're doing that. But see, you know what that whole thing bugs me about is well, I guess they just announced today that the DC universe is not being rebooted.
No,
it's just going to be changed.
They're just dropping the new 52.
After Divergence, it's going to be a
Convergence.
Why did I say that's a movie?
That's the horrible movie. Yes.
Yes, I haven't seen it. I guess I'm glad I haven't. I don't know. Okay, so after the podcast last week, we can all talk about this. We all watched Justice League
Atlantis.
Throne of Atlantis. I really liked it. Did you guys like it?
That was pretty good.
I haven't watched it.
Wasn't bad.
Oh, that's right. You weren't on the last podcast because you were busy smiting.
Yes.
You smiter.
Yes.
Beth, what do you think about it?
I really liked it. I want to go read Aquaman stuff now.
New 52 Aquaman is the best. Just the best.
Honestly, it really is because they even make jokes about him being the lamest Justice League member in the Aquaman book. Like, people on the street are like, oh man, I got saved by Aquaman?
Whales!
And, how'd you guys feel about this? They said that they're not going to make him a blonde in the movie. He's going to have his black hair.
Who's the character? It was with Jason Momoa being his skin tone, wouldn't look right with blonde hair.
Like an albino white guy.
Yeah, I mean, he's treating to his Samoan roots with this character, and he's trying to bring diversity to the Justice League.
Well, I also thought that
That's what Cyborg was for.
Yeah.
Well, we need more. We need more representation for Pacific Islanders.
I also thought that it don't matter as long as it portrays him cool. Right? Like, no one's gonna be like, "You're not doing Aquaman, right?" And if you are, you need to take a seat, guy. Just calm down.
After binge watching 5 seasons of Stargate Atlantis, Jason Momoa is going to do perfect.
It's Stargate Atlantis. You talk about Stargate Atlantis, and I think we've talked about this before. Someone commented, you were like, "I've been watching Stargate Atlantis," and someone commented,
Yeah, my buddy Josh came in with Stargate Universe over Atlantis,
and I was like, "Yes, that's the only Stargate I watch." But I think that appeals to the kind of sci-fi person you are. I think because you're more of a Star Trek than a Star Wars person. I think Stargate Universe is more Star Warsy than Star Trek.
If that's the case, then Star Wars is freaking boring.
I love Stargate Universe, man. It was.
I stopped watching it when they dumped the Doctor onto the planet because he was the only interesting character.
Well, he comes back like.
Yeah, but I
That
don't want to
happens
deal
for
with
like
everybody else. I want him.
for like an episode.
I mean, I still gotta go back and watch it. I just gotta wait for internet.
The time travel stuff in that thing was great. I think I've talked about that. Have I talked to you guys about that before?
That was basically the whole thing.
Remember you were watching Stargate Universe for a while,
So
but
good.
I think I was deployed when you were doing that.
All right, check this out. In Stargate Universe, this is what happens.
Stop tapping the table.
That's right. Okay, sorry. A long story short. Okay, so they're on. They get sent. They have to escape, and when you dial a Stargate, you dial. Thank you. You dial. I'm talking to you guys too, so it's like
You dial Stargate, you dial 803.
699. Never mind. No. There's 7 chevrons when you dial a Stargate, and they're researching dialing the 8th chevron. They're like, we don't know where the 8th one's going to take us, and so they unlock it and figure it out. But then the aliens, of course, attack the planet, and they're about to explode the planet. So it's like the only thing we can do now is dial the 8th one and jump, and wherever it takes us, it takes us. And so they jump through the portal. The entire base goes through the portal into this huge ship that apparently is the Ancients, is what they kept calling them, ship that delivered... No, it was part of a delivery system to drop Stargates off on planets.
Yes.
It just hasn't been in use in such a long time. It is not the Stargate Maker. They find the Stargate Maker. They go into this huge, bigger ship that another alien race has found and is living on that has like hundreds of Stargates. Anyway, long story short, they end up on like this time flux with the sun, and like they get in contact with another ship, and they find out it's their ship, and they're
I'll give it that was a really good episode.
And they're like, "What are we gonna do?" And I think they're like, "We have to blow it up. We can't both exist in the same space." And they go to blow it up, but that ship evacuates first down to a planet with a Stargate that was close, and so they blow it up, and then these guys get warped, and then when they blow it up, crazy things happen. They get sent. That the people that jumped through that Stargate ended up jumping through space and time, and so they got sent down to the planet, but like thousands of years before them. And so then the cast finds these cities that are abandoned and destroyed, and they find their history banks, and they find themselves in like oldie towns because they populated it and started it, and these giant cities were from them. Like they started human civilizations on these planets. And it was just, I was like, this is such an epic time travel story.
You liked that. Sorry. But you didn't like the end of Battlestar Galactica.
You what? You what, mate?
I never said that I hated it. I said
I didn't say you hated it, I said you didn't like it.
Well, I feel like the last season of Battlestar Galactica, they're like, we know what to do, so let's just do that.
That whole circus of an explanation of what you just did sounds like they were like, quick, smoke something and tell me what happened.
That's so cool. I don't know.
Yeah?
Maybe you have to watch it.
That was basically the last episode of Season 5 of Stargate Atlantis, where we had a good story beforehand, then we came to episode 20, the last episode, series finale. They like threw everything in, like, this is so phoned in, this is horrible. But it was still, I had to enjoy it. But
They also had they could communicate with Earth, and they had these stones where like they could, if you were sitting at the stones and someone else was sitting at the stones, you could swap bodies. And so people from Earth, they were like trying to give regulations, like people like commanders from Earth, the probably military, are coming. This isn't regulation. What are you doing here? You guys need to do this, this, and this, like in someone else's
It's like,
body.
yeah, that's great, dude. Bye. Boom.
Yeah, it's like you're somewhere else. But they would go into other people's bodies and go visit their family members as other people, and I was like, that's gotta be. And like some of them were like banging. And I was like, that's you use my body to have sex with somebody else. That's creepy. Would you let?
There was no consent form, by the way, either. There was none.
Did they know they were doing it? Or were they like, oh, something?
No, they signed a consent form that said, while this person is in you, they are them and you are you there. Like, so, anything they do as you, they're doing. And they get...
There's no memory swap either, so it's like if you come back and he had sex...
You have no idea what happened.
You don't know.
You have no idea what happened. And there was one time where the Stones were messing up, and so mid-sex... Someone was like, what? And then back again. And I was like, that would be the worst. Here's the question, though. Would you let me swap with you if I was stranded and come, like, and visit everybody and, like, bang people?
See, I don't know.
Bang people or bang your wife?
Bang my wife. I wish she was here. She just stepped out. She probably wouldn't even let that go down. She'd be like, this is so weird. And I'd be like, all right, who do you want me to swap with so it'd be the weird, like, my dad? No! That's it was a crazy concept. I don't know. I like Stargate SG-1 a little bit. I don't know why I like Stargate Universe so much more than I liked any other Stargate. But I feel like in the Stargate fan base, it was the complete opposite. Like, everybody loved all the other Stargates. Everybody hated Stargate Universe.
The whole time was a bottle episode. Every episode was a bottle episode, and I just couldn't take it anymore.
I don't know what that means.
I mean, and there was really no interesting characters besides the Doctor. They're just, everybody was bland.
Does a bottle episode mean it can only go one direction?
I don't know what a bottle episode means.
Bottle episode is where, like, if we were in this small amount of space, this is it. We couldn't go, like, if we were in an elevator. In an elevator, that's a ball. That's the concept of ball.
I get what you're saying.
Where we can't move anywhere else. We were stuck on the ship, and you couldn't go to like other planets or anything. It was just focused on these people in this place, and there was nobody interesting besides the Doctor.
Gotcha. Okay. Do you have anything else? Nerdy things happening? No, you had a story about something with a guy at work. A guy you work with.
Oh, I told you guys about that read. Cause
did we talk about that last podcast?
Or he stopped. Yeah, I think we did. Didn't we?
I don't think we did.
I don't know. Maybe
I don't
not.
listen to the episodes.
Anyway, so there's this guy at work, and he is not straight.
It's okay.
And it's fine. It's whatever. He's cool. It was just funny because like the whole time I feel like I was attractive, but then I happened to mention that I play World of Warcraft, and he was like, "Ew." And so now I'm like offended that he doesn't think that I'm attractive anymore. So
you see, folks, it's not just looks.
It's not like anything would happen anyway because I'm not gay. But I'm just like, oh, so now because I play World of Warcraft, I'm not attracted to you anymore.
It's
you know, so everything I do now is trying to get him to like think I'm attractive.
It's kind of like our especially our generation. We've completely accepted gay people, so it's almost like a girl telling you that. Yeah. It's like a girl. Yeah. You're like, I don't want to bang you, but you don't want to bang me because I want to play World of Warcraft. Now I'm going to try to get you to want to bang me.
Yeah, exactly. Now I'm doing it out of spite.
You know, it's so funny.
Only the Showtime.
I know. Could we put that in the category of nerd shaming? Did you think you got nerd shamed because you play World of Warcraft?
I don't know. Maybe. I guess. I didn't really care either way. It was just like, if I had been upset about it for nerd shaming, it would have been like, should I play World of Warcraft? Like, I was more upset at the fact that he no longer thinks I'm attractive because of that. And I guess it is nerd shaming.
Playing. You're gay. You play World of Warcraft.
You can't call me that.
Wait a minute. Is that how that works?
That's our word.
Oh, it's y'all's word?
Not mine.
All right, so Beth, what about you guys? What do you got?
Don't have anything nerdy. But I did get a cool piercing on Thursday.
Cool piercing.
Mm-hmm.
Where?
You mentioned this. I thought you were joking.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I said where, then I was like, wait a second.
So, can everybody see it?
No.
Are we allowed to do that? No,
Alright, so it's right here
above
on
your
her
booby
chest.
crack. We'll just say that. It's right on the top of the booby crack.
Is it a hook or is it just a stick?
It's shaped like an upside down T. And what they do is they like pinch your skin like this. And it's a needle where the edges are kind of sharp to you. And they dig a pocket under your skin, between your skin and muscle. And then they pop it in. And then they put the jewel on top of it.
Can I ask questions about this?
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask whatever I want?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, before, did you ever be like, "Oh, these guys are staring at my boobs"? Does that ever bother you?
I'm used to it.
You said, okay. So now, you can't really get mad. Because now it's like, look at that. See, now there's an excuse to stare at the boobs. It's like, oh, what a that's an amazing piercing. Where did you get that done at?
Is there like a second rule with this now?
What kind of nub is that? That's a legit nub right there.
Let me take a picture of that.
My sister would love to see that. Let me say that to her.
Wife looks at it and I was like, you gotta picture someone's boobs. Like, no. It's that jewel right there. It's so pretty.
It's up high enough you can crop out the boobs. So.
Beth actually texted Heather about it. And I was like, I asked Heather, I was like, you know what? No, I'm going to wait to question her on the podcast to see if she brings it up. So, what made, like, you just want to get it done?
Yeah, I just like it. I'm going to get more.
Oh.
Keep going down. Or
like,
up.
Good.
This turns into the Howard Stern really fast.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us today. I'm Stevie B.
And he's going to go spank
I know. Heather's gone. Okay. I've been thinking about getting a piercing or a tattoo or something. See, the thing about it is, with tattoos, like here's tattoos people expect me to get. Superman, yeah. Someone with Star Wars, yeah. So it's like, yeah, I want to get all those, but it's like, where do you get them? Like, it's not like I'm putting a sticker on the back windshield of my car. It's going to be on my body forever.
Well, I can tell you now, with tattoos, it depends on where it is. Because you have to remember, these things are on your body and they're going to age.
Right.
Because I had a friend of mine who got a tattoo on her foot. And now it's 10 years later, and that thing looks nasty.
Ooh.
Not like infected. It's just like...
It's stretched out.
I also saw a magazine where someone had it on their foot as well. And like after some odd plus years, like it actually peeled off.
Let's do this. Let's all get Nerds of the Apocalypse right on our chests. Like,
one letter each.
You know, I'm not that committed.
Yes!
No, we can all get them right here.
Yeah. Or right here, right above your butt
stamp.
crack.
The tramp stamp?
No.
No.
You guys.
You're going to have to get me really drunk.
You don't have to get me drunk at all. I'll do it. You're the only person that's really got to deal with it is Heather.
That's true.
She'll be so mad. Did you? And then she'll be more mad at you guys. She'll be like, you guys said it was okay for him and talked him into getting a NotA tramp stamp?
Hold on. I am officially on record on this podcast saying it's...
Only if I get drunk.
Only if I get drunk. Only if I get drunk.
Beth, would you stop me from getting a NotA tramp stamp?
I'd stop you from getting any kind of tramp stamp.
I wouldn't.
Well,
from the NotA one, yes, but any kind of tramp stamp, I'd let you get something.
Just get like
a dick.
Get like the Rebel Alliance.
Or do what I did to Gabe back before prom night. I drew Link sticking his sword down his crack.
Or we could get I'll get like the Death Star shooting its laser right into my crack.
Yeah. Or you could just make your whole butt the Death Star.
Yeah. So when I take a poop, like, hey, that just blew up Alderaan again.
That's no moon.
I'm gonna go blow up Alderaan. I'll be right back.
That's no moon. That's my bum.
It is a moon, though.
I did. I made a Vine account, and I've been annoying everybody with it. I've only made 2 Vines though.
So you're not annoying everybody with it.
You're right. No, but what I do now is I do this, and everybody instantly thinks I'm taking a Vine. And I'm just like, I'm just texting. And then he started doing it to me, and I'm like, are you making Vines back at me? He's like, no, I'm just trying to talk on my phone. And And Heather came out with a face mask on. I did that. And she's just like, stop that Vine. I'm not Vine anybody. So that's been fun. I just got to pick and choose because I think some Vines are really lame. I'm like, I'm only making a vein. That was a fail Vine. It's a vein. A fail Vine. Right? Okay, I'm sorry. I only want to make it they're funny.
Yeah, but when you look on Vine, are any of them funny?
Yes, there's
Some of them are.
There's this guy named Arthur, and he's British. It's the ones I shared with you the other day.
Is that Mr. Technical Difficulty?
No, he shared his Vine.
Okay.
But I went and found that guy, and he is hysterical.
I literally think it's because of the accent, and he can get away with it.
Some of the stuff he does. Like, the guy was like, what was it? Oh, you can't wear certain... Some people say you can't wear certain colors. And the guy goes, hey, teal's not your color. He's like, teal boots on my eyes, you fucking bitch.
Alright, so I'll explain a couple to them. If you have kids listening, it's about to get really dirty. I don't feel like putting in beeps. So
there are kids listening to this.
So just a heads up, okay? Skip ahead like 30 seconds to a minute.
Don't repeat it!
I'm going to say it. Because it's funny. And you have to say it. One of them...
How do we actually go to places?
I don't know. One of them was like this. He's like, how to bond with foreigners. And he's like, I love Polish vagina!
Thank you, Elena.
And he's clearly a truck driver. And he's sitting there with the truck. And he has all these ones. It's like... Come to England where you can enjoy the scenery, and it cuts to the traffic. He's like, this is not fucking one of them! He's got so many of him stuck in traffic.
An Australian goes to a bar, and an American goes to a bar, and an Englishman never fucking gets there!
It's like, me and the girlfriend, I haven't been posting any Vines lately because me and the girlfriend went to the bar, and it cuts to the traffic 2 fucking weeks ago! So it's essentially him just being like calm and then angry and then calm, and then it's funny. But yeah, so and I found him particularly funny because the things he says to his girlfriend are constant nasty things that I say to Heather, and so I bonded with him because I'm filthy like that. And I was like, man, maybe it is a British thing. Maybe it's like I don't realize it, but it's like my British side coming out, fully American. And then, but see, when you do it,
and then you got the American filth behind it.
Yeah, that's right. So then it's worse. It's almost. So I've started saying nasty stuff to Heather now in an accent because I feel like that does maybe make a difference.
It does.
It's like, so it's like how to what was it? How to be in a good relationship. Step 4, communication. Oh no, compliment her every day. And then they're in the kitchen. It's like, your tits are good.
I lost it.
And so I was like, I do that to Heather all the time. Like, Heather gets mad when she's changing in her room. In our room, I guess our room, right? And she can feel me looking, and she's like, and then she turns her back to me, and sometimes she'll take off her bra under her shirt, and then she puts on her shirt and then takes off the shirt. I'm like, really? I just want to see. Anyway. So now that that's over with, and everybody that has kids to stop listening, Trex, your weekend gig.
It's been quite slacking because I haven't had internet for 2 weeks.
Well, really, it's like your month and a half in geek because you've pretty much been blowing us off. I mean, he went to Colorado. He had an excuse. But you've been smiting.
Yeah, I had tournaments I had to go to.
No, I'm just messing with you. You were in ATL, right?
Atlanta, yeah.
Yeah, sweet.
Yep. I met Jesse Cox. Met the guys from the Warp Zone again.
Those guys are so funny. You ever watch the Warp Zone stuff? It's pretty funny stuff.
No, they're just great guys. Jesse Cox really just gave me some really good advice, and you really just have to whore yourself out. Just throw yourself, go everywhere you can, just whore yourself out. That was his #1 thing. Whore yourself out. I'm like, thanks, Jesse.
I'll be on the corner next week.
Is
that what we're talking about?
But without air for 2 weeks, I decided to pick up a game I've never played before because I have a PlayStation 3 that just collects dust.
Borderlands, a.k.a. NyQuil, right?
I didn't go to bed until 4 a.m. last night because I was playing it.
No, me and Showtime, we try to play that, but...
it's not Steve's fault, it's mine.
Yeah.
I fall asleep.
It's a game that has, like, action, big gaps, action, like, you have to drive from point A to point B, and, like, that just gets you, especially when it's, like, 11 o'clock at night and you're sleepy. that driving point, it'll do it to you, man. And they have like these big open areas that you're just walking through. You kill a guy, walking through, kill. You know.
I will have to say I was kind of pissed at some areas I had to walk to, and I had to get out of my. I just got it. Drive. What? I gotta walk. God, I didn't want to walk. I just wanted to run shit over. This is horrible. But I mean, I have to say I've had a great time with it. I was about to pick up part 2, but I'm like, I'm gonna finish part 1 first before I get part 2. But I'm really having a great time with it.
I'm glad that I never played 2 or the pre-sequel that they came out with, because first off, when the pre-sequel came out, you know, months after Xbox One and PS4 did, I was like, this is clearly going to get ported within a year. Sure enough, they announced 2 and the pre-sequel
Handsome collection
being ported to the Xbox One. So I might get that. I don't know. I really want to get it if I could talk you into getting it, because that's a game that I don't want to play by myself.
Yeah.
Well, if my taxes are good, I'm getting an Xbox One.
Ooh.
So because my trip to Vegas is canceled.
Oh.
Yeah, SOE got Sony sold SOE to this firm or whatever, and the same firm who actually bought Harmonix. So SOE, Sony Online Entertainment's no longer. We now have Daybreak Games.
Wait, so Sony Online Entertainment no longer runs DCUO?
They still all their titles like DCUO, EverQuest, and H1Z1. They're all still properties of Daybreak Games. They keep all their IPs. Just Sony and SOE split.
Oh, so SOE is still SOE. It's just not owned by Sony anymore.
Correct. They changed their name now to Daybreak Games. They're now an independent gaming company.
Say that again? What kind of games?
Daybreak Games.
Okay.
That's the new company name.
I'm glad you spelled it out, because this whole time I've been hearing Date Rape Games. And I'm like, that can't be the name of it,
Daybreak,
right?
sorry.
Brought to you by Telltale Games.
Now,
You get to choose your story.
Now, what's also cool about this is that Daybreak Games is now, because they're independent, they're now multi-platform. And the creative director for DCO definitely tweeted out, so who wants to play DCO on Xbox One?
He tweeted, well, I'd rock an Xbox One.
That's something coming down the pipeline that we might be seeing a lot of the Daybreak games like DCUO or EverQuest next when it comes out coming to Xbox One.
EverQuest would be cool.
I never played EverQuest. I'm afraid to. I feel like I'm going to.
It was the
Be
original
afraid.
40-man raid.
I think it's freaking years old.
Beth watched. I did. This year. Me and Trex talked. We're going to be just putting all different kinds of weird stuff on the YouTube channel, just trying stuff out, see what hits. And one of the things I did was playing Guild Wars because it was on super cheap sale. And it's so funny because Showtime, we got into a huge argument about it because he was like, "Why are you buying it? You're never going to play it." And I'm like, "Well, I'm going to get it and I'm going to play it." And I've played it once to record that video. That is it. And I was like,
That's right. And someone did comment on it.
It did, yeah. But I was like, I mean, I was thinking about. I was like, if you really want to get into MMOs, we can help you out.
Oh yeah.
We got a guild for you to join.
Yeah.
Raid.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Oh, I knew it.
We need. Actually, you wouldn't even have to do tanks or heals. You could do the fun stuff, the DPS.
That's
We'll
right.
help you out.
We got all the utilities.
DPS, that's what I do. See, the thing is, I'll explain it to you, Beth, as easy as I can. The
Keyboard, face, roll.
right, you have a tank, which essentially holds the aggro. Do you know what I mean by aggro? Like
hate.
aggressiveness? Yeah.
I make the person hate me so much he doesn't attack anyone else.
Yeah, it just attacks him. And then you have the healer, which generally heals the tank. And that's
And
generally
should heal everybody.
Right. And so the tank attacks the main boss, and the healer heals the tank, and then all the DPSs. And DPS is damage per second. And there are people that just pretty much go around killing. If they spawn extra stuff, you attack them. And when there's nothing else, you attack the boss with the tank. And you're just kind of there to have fun. And that's what I do. Because there's no responsibility in that.
Face, keyboard, face.
Yes.
Until you get it to fight Tectus.
Yes.
And then if you run left, you are an ass. But it gets harder when you get into raids. But yeah, we'll definitely hook you up.
I want to... I have a healer in Star Wars The Old Republic. And one time Showtime was over, and he was like kind of showing me how to heal. And like I was like, I need to record this because he gets so mad at me, and I can't blame him because he says do this, and for some reason my brain is like do that but the opposite, and he's like, what are you doing? And I'm just like, I'm sorry, and then I try to do that what he said, but it's not the time for that now. And so he's like, what are you doing? You're supposed to be doing this. And then I freak out. And I'm like, and on the screen, my guy's like, blah, 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 and so it's funny stuff. And what I didn't like about being a healer, and I don't know if this is the case in all games, but what I didn't like about being a healer is that I didn't really ever watch the fight. Like, I stared at the 4 portraits of people.
That's correct.
And then I just kind of clicked the heal button.
You don't know a boss fight. You don't look at the only time you look at a boss fight to see if he's looking at you or your general direction, and you move the hell out of the way.
And typically you have a mod that says, "Look out!"
So.
When I used to heal, it was a terrible healer. When I was back in Vanilla WoW, I went to Molten Core with some people. Dude, I had all the mods I needed. All I could see was a little area around my guy.
Oh my
everything
God.
else
Wow,
was
mods.
freaking. Everything else was. I had all 40 members of the raid for healing. I had all 40 members of the raid for decursing, and then could walk. I could see where I was going, and then I had all my other moves and stuff like that I could do. It was horrible. And then I had over in this little area, I had all the buffs I had on people and who needed to get rebuffed, because back then you could run out of a buff in the middle of a fight and you had to. Yeah, it was retarded.
The term vanilla WoW, Beth, is
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
when you could put vanilla on anything like vanilla SWTOR. Vanilla would be a game without any expansions or changes yet.
You know how the vanilla is like the typical flavor for ice cream?
Mm-hmm.
It's just the base game, and then everything else builds off vanilla.
So like you had like, you know what expansion packs are for games.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's what it was before any expansion packs came out. So.
Which consoles turned into DLCs, and which now it's just a corruption of America.
Right. Dude, downloadable content is killing me, man. I at one point, I feel like that's coming to a head. DLC, let me explain it to you. Essentially what's happening, Beth, is instead of releasing full games now, developers will release part of a game and then make you pay for the rest of it later. After you've already spent your $60. They're like, okay, well, we're releasing this part as well. So it's $20. So now you're paying $80. And for me, there's some games that do it well, like it's okay. Like if any expansion came out for Dragon Age Inquisition, which probably will, it'll feel like an expansion. Like I feel like I got my $60 worth out of Dragon Age Inquisition.
Agreed.
And so any expansion, it's like I'm willing to pay for it because like I got $60 out. But there's other games, like what's an example of a game that did that? Just recently, some came out and you had to buy like the rest of the game with DLC.
Oh my god, I cannot remember.
It was like you had to like buy the multiplayer.
What?
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
But that's all that they should release anyway.
Yeah, and that's what's happening now. Is like you're spending $60. And it's like, but if you want the full game, that's why I don't know if you've ever heard this, but like people get real mad at day one DLC. Like if it's day one DLC, that means you had this DLC ready, but you had this content for this game ready, but now you make me pay it separately because you feel like I should spend more money on it. Well, I mean, can we use the Advanced Warfare Zombies as... That's because Advanced Warfare just released zombies. And in all the other Call of Duty games that had zombies, they were included in the game. They came with zombies. Now you have to spend $20 on top of the $60 you spent for the 6-hour single-player game. For the zombies multiplayer, you spend another, I think it's like $15 or $20. When before, all the zombie modes came with the game.
Can we stop with the zombies, please? I'm really getting tired of them.
Well, there's not. It's different, Trex, because there's zombies with the exosuits.
Stop it. No.
Okay, and
no,
so
stop,
they jump
stop.
around.
That would be unfortunate in a real life situation. All of a sudden, it's come back up, and whatever it's attached to is getting freaking amplified.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's bad. Speaking of zombies, Walking Dead comes back tonight. Well, but not for when you guys see this, but when we recorded it, it did. So we're excited about that.
Yeah,
too.
we haven't watched it yet, so I'm sure you have. If you spoiled it on the internet, you suck.
Jake.
Yeah, here's talking to you, Jake, at Sound of the Sheep Studios.
Dang.
I didn't want to title drop.
Oh, I totally title dropped. He knows what it did to me. And what it
He
did
knows what he did.
He knows what it did to him. I know I've told you this story before, Beth. I know I've told it on the podcast before. There was one time when our friend Jake at Sentinel Sheep Studios, name drop again. We DVR'd Walking Dead, and we started it late. We were watching it on the night, okay, and we were watching it like 20 minutes in. So the Walking Dead was still on. We started, and a major character died.
That I remember that.
And a major character died, and we're fast forwarding it. And you instantly default to your phone. I'm flipping through Facebook, and it's like, whoa! I can't believe they just killed blank, and like it said his name. And I was like, and I lost it on him. So from then on, for probably the next year, every time I posted something on Facebook, I was like, this post would be great if you hadn't ruined The Walking Dead. and he's like, man, I'm never posting anything about a TV show again, especially not one you watch. I was like, see, Jake, it would have been fine if you would have posted this with like spoilers for Walking Dead and then made your comment, or said spoilers for Walking Dead and then posted another comment so people have to click the comments to actually read. But no, you just put it on blast on Facebook. What about the West Coast? You got any West Coast friends? You know, do we talk about the flack that the Walking Dead Twitter got?
Oh yeah, because they put their own picture, our own spoiler up of their own show. You know?
Oh yeah.
Like
Remember
after the episode.
On the East Coast.
Yeah.
On the East
Yeah, I
Coast.
remember that.
And so the West Coast was like, hey, Walking Dead, we got 4 more hours. F you. So it was funny. All right, so we're 45 minutes in already. All right, so our topic discussion, and I forgot, Beth and I were having a talk on text message. I can't remember what we were talking about. Oh, I think Beth was telling me about something that made her cry. And then I laughed and I said, don't worry, this made me cry. And I was like, you know what? Things that make us cry would be a great topic for the podcast. And I said, Trex, he's a big crier, so he'll definitely have no problems talking about it.
I'm a person who has feels. I'm okay with this.
I'll go for the 2 big things I want to talk about. The main thing I was going to talk about.
That cat shit.
I know.
Sorry.
The cat just went doo-doo. It stinks up the whole house. The litter box is literally on the other end of my
It
apartment.
smells like he did it right there.
I've actually looked around the apartment like for cat duty. I'm just like, there's no way that's in the litter box. And like, I do a house inspection.
You don't got some Arm and Hammer up in there?
I don't know. I gotta talk to Heather.
Does he not cover his poops or anything?
I maybe
He just drops it, just walks away, just kick it away.
I know. One time I died. Like I couldn't stop laughing because Heather was cleaning the litter box out, and our new one, she took, like the lid comes completely off. She took the lid and she put it in the hallway. And while she's cleaning it out, the new cat just walked over there, got into the lid, and pissed. And she's like, "Are you pissing?" And I looked over and I was like, "Yeah, he is." It was so funny.
You can't even get mad at the cat when it's doing what it's supposed to do.
I told her.
It thought it was right there.
I told her, I was like, "Don't get mad at him." She's like, "I'm not. This is so And she took it into the bathtub, into the shower, and just hosed it out. We keep finding cat pee in the shower. I don't know
because of that.
I don't know what's going on. And Heather, we have an old cat and we got a new cat, and the old cat's really old. And we thought it was a new cat because maybe where the new cat used to be, he peed in the shower. I don't know. But then she caught the old cat in there, just sitting in there.
I just swear you.
And he hadn't peed yet, but she was like, "Why are you in the shower? Are you the one that's been peeing in here?" So it's been interesting. Anyway, so things that make us cry.
Cats peeing in the shower.
And so the one thing I want to talk about, and we've talked about the Les Mis thing before with Trucks, where I didn't cry during cry during Les Mis. In fact, I made fun of it the entire time.
You made a period joke in a period.
I did, and a period piece. But my defense of that is I have no passion for it. Like that kind of musical, I don't like. I don't like musicals where you sing every single word, and it's just not. Oh my god.
Key and Peele skit for one out of where did this bitch come from?
Yeah, exactly. And it's just it's so bleak and boring, and I just didn't find it. I liked the very beginning. And the song at the very end was nice. But, like, Hugh Jackman is Wolverine. You need that open, sweetheart? Kid aggro. The tank's got it.
Yeah, I mean, Wolverine, Catwoman,
like
and Gladiator are all in it.
But
And
like...
Borat?
That was funny. That was a good part. The comedy part was good with the... with those two.
With the innkeeper.
Yeah. But it's just not... It's not my thing, and I just...
Understandable.
I went because Heather wanted, and then I also went because I got to make fun of Trex because he was like, "I brought the tissues, girls."
Because I went the first time with my friend, who also doesn't have a soul, but she's lesbian, so it's okay. And
That's worse than my Burger King.
And plus, lesbians have souls. It's strippers that don't have souls. Okay, get that right.
They're just trying to go for med school.
You're right. Sorry.
But no, I went the day before with my friend Nicole, and she. and I didn't know what to expect from it really, and I really enjoyed it. So when I went with you guys the next day, I made sure, because I mean we had Tony, we had Heather, we had Stacy. I mean, full of girls that I knew were going to cry. So I was like, I got your back, girls. Got your back.
Well, don't you understand when you're like, hey girls, I got the tissues, it's cool. Like, you understand where my mind goes, especially when you're friends with someone like me.
I already did. When you said that, I just imagined you got shot with like 7 dildo cans.
and I was like, yeah, can we put an X-ray in front of us? No. I was like, hey, can we make sure Trex sits next to me, so in case in the middle of the movie I get bored, we can handle the business together. That was like, because clearly he's into that now. So, but then we went and saw The Amazing Spider-Man 2. And spoilers if you haven't seen that. But I was sitting next to Preach, and we got to the death of Gwen Stacy, and when she died, it was quiet, and Peter was like crying, and it was just like tears, bro. Like I just like, no, Gwen, I knew it was gonna happen, but Gwen, and I'm literally grabbing Preach's leg, like my hand is on his leg, I'm doing this, and he's like, I know, man, I know, and then he looks at me, he's like, you'll cry during Spider-Man? But you make period jokes and Les Mis. And I'm like, yes, because this is real life. Like, what? So that's my cry. Like and ever since having a kid, a daughter, more likely, anything that involves dads and girls, it's uncontrollable, bro. Like it's just I get emotional, and I get teary eyed. Before, I used to be like, look at those two pufftas. But now, but now I'm just like, oh my god. Like the beginning of The Last of Us. Spoilers if you haven't played it, but it's literally like the first 10 minutes.
There's no spoilers. Just
the first 10 minutes of the game. It opens up with this disease, because it's not really zombies.
It's playing zombies.
Yeah, it's something weird. And the outbreak is starting, and they're running, and they're going through this town, and you got her, and you're protecting her, and she hurts her ankle. She's like 13, and so you're carrying her, and you got her in your arms, and all of a sudden, like an army guy is like, stop! It's not the zombies. It's like an army dude. He's like, freeze! You're in the woods, and you're about to get to the bridge where you can see everybody, and he's like, but sir, he has a little girl. Yes, sir. And this dude just opens fire on you, and you turn like to get shot in the back, but your brother's there and he caps him like before he hits you in the back, but you look over and his little girl is like bleeding out the stomach, and she's sitting there and she dies in his arms, and it's like,
yeah, I got really confused, like, is this the story?
And it's like a minute long, and then it's just like he's talking to her, he's like, no, baby, don't go, and she's just like, you can see tears streaming down her face, and she's like touching her dad's face, and I was just like, and I'm into the moment, and like I'm getting emotional, and then Heather's on the couch was like, you all right, bro? You got it? And I'm just like, no, I clearly don't got it. All right. And it was, and then it's like 20 years later. Boom. And I'm like, well, damn. Like, yeah. And then then I have to deal with this story, and his daughter's dead, and I'm just like, where's her mom? What's happening? And I don't know if they ever tell that, but the other thing about the game, it makes you mad, is like there's a girl that's rolling with you, like a woman in the beginning of the game, and I played for like 2 hours, and she's still there. I'm like, well, clearly she's not on the cover, so something tragic is about to happen to her, too. And so, I don't know, but that's my emotional story.
Oh, man, I remember playing Dead Space, and that chick who got stabbed in the eye. I remember that shit. Mm-hmm. With a freaking chisel, too. And I'm like, ah! But it's just, like, there's people, what gets me is, like, well-illustrated acts of heroism or a sacrifice, something like that. That's usually what gets me. And you can't just be like, someone will look out! Like that's too overplayed now. But if like this person's been built up to be an important character, and they end up getting like sacrificed, like in The Walking Dead, it happens a lot. Like they've done a really good job at making you build emotional ties to these characters, and then all of a sudden, like they sacrifice themselves so other people can live, or they just get killed like unjustly, and people go back to avenge them. Like I don't know, that shit, like getting your due, that kind of stuff is what gets me.
It is,
And I don't necessarily cry, but
Just,
she said like one of the qualifiers was also misty. I was like, okay, yeah, I do that sometimes. Or I just get excited, get those goosebumps, like finally, you know,
and
justice is served.
It comes up and it hits you in the head.
Yeah.
What did we just watch where that happened? And I was like, get him! I'm always like, get him! I hope he gets him. There's some. I think I was watching with the head though. I don't know. There's a lot of things going on in my brain. I'm sorry. I can't remember. All right, what do you got, Beth? You gonna talk about what we talked about in the text message?
Okay. Do you want the story or the cry one first?
Whichever one. Shoot.
Okay. Do y'all remember Hey Arnold?
Yeah.
Do y'all remember the Christmas episode?
Oh crap!
No.
That one makes me cry every time.
What happens in the Christmas episode?
Well, you know Mr. Juan that lives in the boarding house?
Yes.
Well, every Christmas he's always really sad and doesn't really talk to anyone. And Arnold finds out that he was in Vietnam and he was trying to escape but he couldn't, and like the army is about to take off in the helicopter and he holds up his baby like this, and at first the army guy just looks at him and then he takes her and he hasn't found her since. So Arnold tracks down this PI and he's like, well, if you get all these things that I need to buy for Christmas, then I'll do it. And they found everything but the Nina Spapomi snow boots, which Helga gets for Christmas, and then she learns what Arnold wants, so she gives the snow boots to the PI, and the PI finds the daughter, and Mr. Juan sees her, and like they hug and stuff. Like that gets me. When I watch it, it gets me. It's a sad one.
I have double emotions going on right now because that got me, but also behind you, my daughter was dragging the cats with a cat toy. So it's like silliness plus what you said just doubled in my head. That I don't remember seeing an episode.
I remember seeing the part where he holds up the daughter. I remember seeing that.
That is deep for a Nicktoon, dude.
I've been rewatching Hey Arnold because it's on Amazon Prime, and it's got like some pretty dark stuff in the episodes. Like I never realized Helga's mom was a drunk until I went back and rewatched it. She was always having smoothies.
Wow. Way to bring it down. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead. What's next?
And my story. Okay. So, this is when I was really young, like 3 to 5. Like, let's say my parents gave me a glass of water to drink, and I drank it all.
Yeah.
And I wanted another glass. It had to be a brand new glass. It could not be the one I used, because I was afraid I would hurt all the other glasses' feelings for not using them. And this is because of, like, Beauty and the Beast and the Brave Little Toaster.
Freaking Disney!
Like, legit. New plate, new glass, every time.
And that sounds reasonable to me.
Freaking
Disney.
This is going to be my thing with you now, Beth. Make sure Beth gets a new cup.
We're going to be out of Groucho's. Hey, can you bring another cup?
Just remember, we do work for the mouse.
That's right. That's super. I don't want to sound like demeaning or anything, but that's like super cute. Like, I don't want this cup to be upset because it didn't get water. So. No, Mom, I gotta have the scratched up Coke cup because I haven't used that one in like 2 weeks. Let me have that one. You know, everybody always has that scratched up Coke cup.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has that, like, it's either like the clear one or everyone always has a Coke cup.
I do.
Oh.
It broke.
Oh, well, so you have one.
Yeah.
But you fucked it up. Sorry. Okay, hold on. We've been going for an hour, so let's try to keep it short. I know you probably have like a novel of things that upset you. So
I have 2 because they're most recent.
Okay, let's hear it.
So, the first one was I finally got to watch the movie Horns, which you saw recently as well. Daniel Radcliffe's movie, which of course I have. Daniel's a good actor outside of Harry Potter, but Horns really improved. Like, oh my god, this dude has so much range, and it really was the end of the episode. The twist at the end of it's like you get nothing but choked up with. And I was at work almost tearing up just because I cared more about the movie than my job. But I mean, it was just on how his performance and how the story was driven, where it was just amazing. I don't want to give too much away because it's on Netflix, and I highly recommend going to see it.
Yeah, going to the couch to watch it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Beth said I should watch it, so I'm going to watch it, so don't tell me the end of it.
Yeah, so it's...
Just be prepared. Even you might cry. Seriously.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not emotionless. I had to explain that to Trex the other day. I'm not an emotionless person. I just don't get emotional about
Well,
things.
no, now that you're expecting it, because I was not expecting it. Because I only read the first half of the book. I didn't read the second half.
Okay.
And I didn't even know it was a book.
Yeah. Joe Hill, Stephen King's son, wrote it.
Okay.
Lock and Key Comics.
Jonah Hill wrote it? I'm just kidding.
There'll be more cuss words. Well, there were a lot of cuss words from Daniel in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
So, the second thing was, have you seen the newest Flash from last week?
Yeah.
With,
no! I got choked up too at that, dude. No, I'm not.
About time!
I'm not gonna lie to you. Oh, and it has to do with this. Me and my dad. It's just been me and him for so long, because I don't want to get into myself and my mother, but I just recently fixed things with my mom. But since 9 years old, I pretty much just me and my dad, and that, man.
Yeah. So the scene is, and it's not too much of a spoiler for the episode, but Barry's father's in the hospital and jail because he did something to help out with the investigation, and Barry and him are having this one-on-one, and saying it's very coincidental that the Flash saved Joe, got this conviction from this guy. Barry's like, yeah, coincidence, and he's like, I have to say, if the Flash was my son, I would be proud of him.
I said I would be proud of him, and I'd love him for everything he's doing and help him. And I was like,
I'm getting the feels now. I just got the goosebumps.
I don't know, man. It was just something about it was written so well, and their chemistry, you believe that they were father and son, and you believed everything that was happening, and it was good.
And any time Barry and Joe have a one-on-one, you get feels as well. Having two strong father figures there, something has to happen. Something bad's gonna happen with one of them.
Well, Joe is not a regular Flash character, so
doesn't matter.
I'm just
we all know it, but because we love Joe so much, something bad's gonna have to happen to him. But yeah, the Flash father and son thing was all feels when I watched it the other day at work.
That was pretty brutal, bro.
Yeah.
I wonder if everybody can hear the My Little Pony intro.
But a legit cry. I don't remember the last time. I know I had one watching something.
Cheater.
I know it probably was something Flash or Arrow related, because I know it happened while I was at work, because that's where all my free time is to watch things. It's at work. So
I hope they don't watch this. All right.
No, hey, John, you can suck it. I don't like you. I don't care.
I don't think any of them watched it or cared.
Yeah,
The way Trex describes his coworkers, I don't.
No, they're. Yeah.
Before we go, I want to mention one thing. The Super Bowl just happened, and that was an intense game, right?
The Puppy Bowl always gets me.
Amen.
The commercials, though, man, it was like,
oh my god!
If you're
it was the dog
dad,
show. It was the Budweiser dog thing. That's the one I cried for.
I actually missed that one.
I don't drink Budweiser, but I drink Bud Light, which is still piss water. But the lonely dog is the Proclaimers. I walk 1,000 mile song. That was playing slow jammed, country style, and you got the lonely dog looking for its owner. The horses. It hit every emotional chord.
Wait, if I could walk 500...
No, slow jam.
If I could walk...
No, you're fucking... Stop. Just...
500... You said slow it down. If
slow
I
jam.
could walk... Oh. No, I got nothing. I'm sorry.
You got nothing.
Okay. But it was like the Deadbeat Dad commercials, too? Did you see all those?
I didn't see those.
If you're a bad dad, you don't get a Nissan. It was always car commercials. I was like, what is this?
I didn't watch it because I died.
That's right. And then that commercial. You know one thing that bugged me about the State Farm thing?
Nationwide.
Sorry, it was Nationwide.
It's my company, and I was like,
I could have done this. I could have flown my friends. I'm not going to get married because I died. And it's like...
a car accident.
Yeah, it's like, accident insurance. No, it wasn't a car accident. It was because then they cut the scenes of a TV that's fallen over and a bathtub that's overflowed.
Yeah, the kid died in a car accident, but Nationwide covers all other insurance.
No, what they're saying is they cover accident insurance, and the kids died in an accident in the house.
Yeah.
But my thing about that is, it's like State Farm is Nationwide. I'm sorry, Nationwide is going to cover your kid's death. This isn't preventive services. This is like them giving you money after your parent dies. Does my breath stink?
No.
Oh, you're kidding.
Catfish.
Oh. It's like this. So it really bothered me. It's like, so this kid's still dead. There's nothing about this commercial that says, hey, keep this kid alive. It's like, hey, get some money from us after this kid dies. From a TV falling on his head. Or drowning in a bathtub.
Wow.
And it just really bothered me. I was just like, what is this? The funniest...
Yeah, you went too far with it.
It's the truth. No, that's what it does. There's no... If you really think about it, it's accident insurance. Like, if accidents happen, we'll cover you.
Well, I mean, everybody has life insurance, yeah.
So if the TV falls on your kid's head, we got your back. That's
Nationwide.
it's on the inside.
Which I'm really happy they didn't put that jingle in the end of it, because I was...
But I died. The best one was the one you made me share. You sent to me. And it was like Anakin over the kid in episode 3. It's like, I was going to be a Jedi Master and travel the galaxy. But I died. And I was like, oh, he did die. That's sad. We don't need to talk much on it, but Katy Perry's talking sharks were the highlight of the Super Bowl.
Everyone was like, the more you know. I was like, what is everyone hashtagging this for? And then I saw this star, and I was like, oh, that's why everyone's doing that.
I feel like that was on purpose, because it's like NBC, like, let's make this star like our old star. Let's just... But,
and apparently she's also copyrighted the sharks.
Wow, you can't copyright sharks.
No,
yeah, I guess you
like, because people were doing 3D modeling to have sharks that have them as like dolls and everything. Her lawyers put the shutdown on that crap.
The best one of this is my second favorite meme on Super Bowl was the picture. You ever seen Jumanji, right? When Robin Williams comes out and he's got the huge beard, and he's like, "What year is it?" Yeah, it was Missy Elliott be like, "What year is it?" And I was like,
"That's true." I mean, everybody's posted the memes like, "Gas is under $2." Missy Elliott at the Super Bowl. What year is this? Is it the '90s again?
I know. And then the end of the game was crazy. The end of the game was ridiculous. I don't know. I mean,
my Packers choked, gave the Seahawks the game to go to the Super Bowl. The Seahawks. No, I played Madden, and I may do okay with it. And I am that guy who goes for the 2-point conversion every single go. So just if you guys play with me, I will go for it just because I know I can. I'm at the 1-yard line. I'm not going to throw the ball.
I don't understand.
You jump over everyone.
Now, this is coming from a guy who doesn't watch football any other time of the year.
But you got really fanatic with it, didn't you?
I literally watched the Patriots because my dad is a huge Patriots fan. I will say this. I'm definitely not a bandwagoner. Because anytime I rep football, I haven't repped anybody but the Patriots. You can at least back that up.
I will back that up.
Okay.
And as a person who claims not a fan, you get really fanatic with it.
When they're winning. And then when they... see, the best thing about me and not caring that much about football is when they're winning, I get to talk all kinds of trash. But when they lose and people talk trash to me, I go, whatever. Like, it's
just nice to know 2 years prosper.
Exactly. Wow. That whole thing. I don't know. I like making fun of it on Facebook and stuff.
You have no choice but to make fun of it.
My favorite thing, was whenever somebody posted about the Deflategate, I would post the South Park meme and Jelly School meme. It's like, oh, you want to talk to Jelly School? Like, Jelly, what? Like, I don't know. It's just, that's the best part. But anyway, end of the game was fun for even someone who doesn't watch football regularly. That was a fun game to watch. It's the first time in a long time where the game has been much better than the commercials.
Yeah.
You know, the commercials are just not that good. When the best commercial is a commercial about glue, we have a problem.
You must have missed Liam Neeson.
Well, that was cool too.
I lost my shit.
The biggest thing is how much money is Clash of Clans bringing in?
Not even just Clash of Clans.
$5 million.
Any apparently premium game. That one in Age of Fire, Age of War, whatever. Yes. Fire Age. Oh my god! Like that chick has made them a bunch of money. It's probably because everyone just wants to see her knockers.
Let's also point out that the gameplay that they showed in the commercial is actually not representative to the game.
Yeah, that's true too.
They basically marketed an entirely different game that they do not.
Hashtag gamers watch the Super Bowl. But yeah, that...
Not even gamers. If you try to come to me, I play games, and all you do is pull out your phone, you're not a gamer, okay? You just like to take up free time when you're in the freaking waiting room or toilet. So.
Angry Birds!
That's different.
Angry Birds. It's
a way of life.
That's right. And also Family Guy, The Quest for Stuff. That's a real game. No, it's not. I feel bad playing any premium game because I'm like, they are attacking my addictive personality. that this is they're coming after me specifically. So is Nintendo with these amiibos. I'm gonna save my Fox McCloud story for Married to a Nerd with Heather. I already told you guys that when you first got here. I don't know. Okay, so that's it. We'll end it there. It's fun. It's we've been over an hour, so it's good. And because we got one more video to shoot, which will probably be up before this is up. So that's it. Thanks for joining us. Let us know in the comments what's made you cry. Like that made me cry because you grabbed my head too much. For those just listening,
stop looking at nothing here.
I'm looking.
And look here.
I'm looking at there. There you go. Is that better? Anyway, comment on things that made you cry. What you thought about the Super Bowl. Anything we've talked about today you want to comment on, and we will respond to you. I generally do. I haven't responded to Beth's stuff yet. I felt bad about it, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try to talk her into MMOing on the podcast. That's why I didn't say anything back about that. When she commented on my Guild Wars
I'm
video.
curious about this comment now.
She just was like, "This is really cool. I want to. This makes me want to play a game. Makes me want to play one of these games because it's the video I did was just like the intro to Guild Wars 2, making a character and things like that. And I think what gets Beth is that the lore and the fantasy of it all, right? Mm-hmm. Like and being able to make your own character. So we'll get you into it. Don't worry. All right. So comment, favorite, subscribe, all that stuff. If you're just listening to us on iTunes, go our YouTube channel, Nerds of the Apocalypse. Check all our videos out. We're doing a lot of random stuff lately. All right, so I'm, of course, Stevie B.
Showtime.
Beth.
Trex.
And we're Nerds of the Apocalypse, and we're out.